insurance and no deductibles unless you're hospitalized overnight. Call or text us at 502-386-1128. That's 502-386-1128.
Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle, this is Tim.
Do y'all sell bait?
Yes, we seasonally stock live shrimp, live bull minnows, live sand fleas, live fiddler crabs, earthworms, night crawlers, crickets. We also stock frozen shrimp, sand fleas, mullets, squid, pre-rigged ballyhoo, bonita, stingray, cigar minnows, Boston mackerel, Spanish mackerel, and a few other miscellaneous baits. It's worth the drive to buy premium locally sourced bait from Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle, located directly off Highway 98 on the west end of Panama City Beach.
As a realtor, it's important who you choose as your title company. May we suggest South Oak Title? Their offices are modern, comfortable, and state-of-the-art. South Oak Title can close transactions in any location in Florida, Alabama, and Tennessee. Their free mobile app allows realtors to deliver a net sheet in seconds. They provide mobile closing services to accommodate buyers and sellers. Their offices are beautifully decorated, state-of-the-art, complete, safe, and secure. South Oak Title, creating a better title and closing experience through technology and tailored service. Visit them online at southoaktitle.com.
Hi, I'm Anne Margaret. I went to Vietnam to entertain the troops in 1966 and 1968. My guys, my gentlemen, if you lived through the Vietnam War era, you know the impact that the war had. But today, we are in danger of history being lost. Current generations know very little about the war or the people who served it. As more of our Vietnam vets pass away each day, their stories are being lost to history. Together, we can change that. The Vietnam Veterans Memorial Fund is the organization that built the wall. It works to ensure that future generations will understand the war's impact. Let's help keep the promise that the wall was built on. Never forget. Visit vvmf.org to find out how you can get involved.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WTOT, W271DN Mariana, WVLQ Port St. John, powered by Pepsi, ESPN Northwest Florida.
Transmission starts in 3, 2, 1.
Broadcasting from the Rib Crib Radio Room. The Afternoon Underdogs are taking your calls live. 850-215-6290. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
What is going on, Northwest Florida? You guys are listening to ESPN Northwest Florida, 104.3 here in Panama City, 101.9 in Port St. Joe, Mexico Beach, and Apalachicola, and 102.1 in Mariana, Chipley, and Bonifay, where we are giving you a chance to win a championship getaway. Find out what we're talking about at 8:45 in the morning with the Coach James Hale Show. We had Ron West, who recently just went to Atlanta. We had he won the 5-year flyaway, so he was checking out the Braves versus the Phillies there at Truist Park. And from the pictures that we got, I'm sure that we'll have those on social media here soon, he had an absolute blast, so a lot of fun there. And want to remind you guys as well, Rib Crib has 5% off this Saturday if you're wearing your sports gear. So if you're a Miami Hurricanes fan, get in your Miami Hurricanes regalia. Head over to Rib Crib. You can go to the Callaway location or the 15th Street location, and you'll get 5% off, which, hey, that's a nice discount, and they don't have to do that. As well as having Kyrie Thornton at the Callaway location from 11:30 a.m. to 12:45 p.m. Then he's going to head on over to 15th Street. Well, he's going to be there from 1 o'clock until 2:15 in the afternoon, and also still working on the time here, but he's going to be on the show with the fellas tomorrow for a segment to kind of promote the appearances and also talk about some football, what's going on in the NFL, and he's currently playing for the Toronto Argonauts, so that should be a very fun interview. A little jealous and envious of you guys because I will not be here for that. Coming up at 4:15, Jennifer Vigil is going to be in the studio with us. She's the president and CEO of Destination Panama City, and guess what starts tomorrow night? Oktoberfest. Third person right now. All you got to do is text. We're not able to receive calls today. We can only call out. That's dealing with our move over to the beach side. So third person to text right now, 850-215-6290. Just text your name in, and you're going to be getting 2 VIP tickets to tomorrow night's event, which is at Destination Panama City, and that's going to be starting at 6 o'clock. And so you're going to want to pick up your tickets tomorrow afternoon while there still is time. Third texter gets VIP tickets to Oktoberfest. Let's go. 850-215-6290. I'm David Hayes along with Miles Nash de Lashley. Drew Gorman will be joining us here soon, but we do have Amanda Muller in the building with us, and I just got to say, she is looking fantastic today. Look at that Green Bay Packers stuff she's got going on. One time, Amanda, and one time only, can I get a Go Pack Go?
No, Pack, no.
No. Oh, come on, just one time.
Go, Pack, go.
All right. And she's only going to be wearing that for the first segment, so.
It's too long.
It's too long. She's like, I feel like a witch in water right now.
Terrible. It burns.
Let's talk about first, let's dive into that Sunday night football game here.
Yeah.
Bears and Packers. What'd you take away from that as a Bears fan?
Okay, so going into Lambeau, it's tough. I knew it was going to be tough. Do I think the refs had some issues? Absolutely. There was a lot of no calls on the Packers that should have been called. There was a lot of calls on the Bears
No
that shouldn't
human's
have.
perfect.
They need to be closer to perfect in these games. I mean, the refs this year, not just the Packer-Bear game. Of course, my heart's in that one. But I've seen a lot of questionable calls all over the NFL this year. And I'm curious, we talked about it a little bit before we started on air today. But at what point does New York step in? That was a clear and concise. That was a touchdown.
Yeah.
It was a touchdown. We were robbed of it. Does it change momentum of the game? Absolutely. Absolutely. Because if you figure out, okay, not only am I trying to win this game, I'm up against the refs. That's even harder. It changes things.
Hashtag NFL rigged? Question mark.
Hashtag no.
I'm not saying it's rigged. I'm saying, yes, human error is there, but it just seems to be at a point where we have so many capabilities with, video assistance. There's got to be someone that can
One thing I don't understand is some games still don't have a camera straight down the goal line. How do we not have that yet in every single stadium and every single game?
We have pylon cameras, but not a straight goal line shot to make things like that touchdown even easier to just go, oh, okay, yeah, we're good.
And how hard is it really to put, these days, how small cameras can be?
Right.
You could put one this way and then one the other way. So, you could really put,
at this point, we should have 4 cameras
on.
Put a microchip in the ball.
Right, like have a chip on the ball in the line.
Okay, well, here's my problem with that, though. Where do you put the microchip? Is the microchip at, each tip of the ball? Is it in the middle of the ball? Well, if it's in the middle of the laces, then if the front of the ball crosses the goal line, crosses the plane, then you're not getting credit for it unless half of the
sure
ball.
We can figure out these sensors.
No,
but,
I'm sure too.
It's one of those things. There is human error, and I do think some of the calls, and more than just this game, have caused momentum shifts.
Oh, I agree. Well, my problem with it, because I love human error. Not that I love human error, but human error is something that is going into every
part of the game.
It is.
Every part of the game. So I like that, but I also don't like the fact that they have the ability to have New York at any given time, for the most part, right?
Right.
Stop a play, make the call, and make the right call. And so when you see the quarterback in a sneak formation and you're looking at where his body is, where that ball is, and you're looking down the plane of the goal line, or you're looking down that goal line, and it looks to be, for the rest of America, outside of the referees, that at least half of that. But, if the sensor was right there in the middle of the laces, that would have pinged, and that would have been a touchdown. And so I do have a problem with that. I don't think that I think that it does. I agree with this, right? It does change the momentum of the game. I don't know if it changes the outcome, but the problem is to quantify, to put a value on momentum. You can't do that, so you never know what's going to happen when certain things happen. Look at the Texas-Alabama game, and I got to speak that to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you could put a value on it in betting terms. I'm sure a lot of people lost a lot of money with Justin Fields not scoring that touchdown.
Agreed.
They had certain spreads and stuff like that. So there's a lot of money involved in this stuff, and I'm sure people get upset for all different kinds of reasons when there's bad calls made.
Drew, welcome into the building.
Drew.
What's going on, bro?
How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. You got any thoughts here on what's going on with what we're talking about, the Bears-Packers Sunday Night Football game?
Well, as a Saints fan, I hate all refs, and I have no comment.
All right, so
Duly noted.
duly noted. That's good stuff there, Drew. Welcome in. You're here with the Afternoon Underdogs. 850-215-6290 is the number to call or text. Well, no, the number to text today. Don't call today. Long shot or long gone. We're talking about 0-2 teams here and their playoff chances. In your opinion, your perspective, your mind, is this particular team a long shot or long gone? Let's start with the Bengals here, who have taken losses to the Steelers in Week 1 and the Cowboys in Week 2. Drew, are they a long shot for the playoffs or are they long gone? Because I think that what we've had in the modern era since the AFL-NFL merger, you've had 4 teams make the playoffs after a start of 0-2.
I'm going to go with long shot because what has been their problem so far this year?
Sacks again.
And being able to protect Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow is, as an LSU fan, I think he's going to be able to turn it around. They've got to be able to protect him. And another LSU boy, La'el Collins, has to go back, not go back on his word, but fix his word. Because whenever they signed him, they said he came in and said, the best protector is in town, or your bodyguard is in town. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, no, because 7 sacks in Week 1, 6 sacks last week.
His
so
numbers are up there
Miles?
with Andrew Luck's too. It's scary to think that he could be the next Andrew Luck and retire in 2 or 3 years from taking all these hits.
I saw a random stat, and it was just crazy but true. He has more sack yards than Najee Harris has rushing yards.
Jeez.
That is wildly crazy and effectively true. Man, and that was the one thing that everyone was saying, if they fix that offensive line, this team's going to be dangerous. And then they come in with the we have fixed the offensive line. At least we've made the signings. But I think that if this is one thing that I can point out, is that the offensive line, just as well as the rest of the team, a chemistry does have to be built there. And just because you make these signings and have all of these names doesn't mean that it's going to work the way that you think it's going to work.
And I think a lot of they really came out of nowhere. I think a lot of what came into this year was, you're playing against, their first game was against the Steelers. You're playing against somebody who, like I said last week, you're playing against somebody who has Mitch Trubisky. All hail Mitch Trubisky for the Bears. But
Yay.
You're playing against Mitch Trubisky, and you're expected to be just a remake of last year and keep building and keep going. Then you look at last week whenever they played the Cowboys. You go against Cooper Rush. You're expected to demolish them and run through them. You can't just, in the NFL, like the movie title says, any given Sunday, you can't just roll the ball out there and automatically think you're just going to win the game. So I think they figure it out once, like you said, once that chemistry gets there with the offensive line, and then they kind of put the pieces together, and they've got to fix something. But out of these guys, I think I give them the best shot to be a playoff team.
All right. Long shot or long gone for you, Amanda?
I'm going to agree with him. I'm going to say long shot. Out of the teams here, they do have the best shot to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, you still have some great players on that team. Burrow, man, I am worried it's going to be an Andrew Luck situation. They've got to fix this before a serious injury happens. I mean, obviously, we've already had some quarterback injuries in the NFL this season already, so he has got to be a little nervous about that. But I just don't take the playoffs away from them. They're too good of a team when they come together and be that cohesive unit.
Yeah, no, great stuff there. What do you got, Miles?
The same thing, long shot. Teams on this list aren't too good. The Bengals don't look so hot yet. I think they do get a lot better. But offensive line, again, if they don't get it picked up, they're screwed long term. They're going to lose Burrow, and that's going to be it. They're going to be back where they were before Andy Dalton.
And,
go ahead. No, go ahead, Drew.
I was talking with Tadius, one of my buddies. He's a Bengals fan, and I was just like, dude, what's going on? I was talking with him a couple nights ago at softball, and he's like, we're not protecting Burrow, and our play calling is very, very vanilla.
Yeah, and that's, especially when you're talking about the Bengals and Joe Burrow, and you make that
all the weapons,
that track, right? All of those weapons and stuff. It's almost like, The Tennessee Titans offensive play calling, where it's like it's basic. You know that it's going to be either run on first down, play action on second down, and then who knows what you get on third down, depending on the situation and how all of that plays out. So I'm right along with you guys on this one. I think that they're a long shot, but not long gone here. Turning our attention here to the Atlanta Falcons, who had a close loss, a comeback loss, if you will, to the Saints, and then they weren't blown out by the Rams either. So for the Falcons, my answer on this one, just because of the NFC South, but the NFC is more wide open than the AFC, but still, because they're in the South, and I think, Tom Brady and the Buccaneers are the cream of the crop there, and the Saints are not incredibly far behind them, I'm going to have to say they're long gone at this point. What do you got on this one, Amanda?
I'm going to agree. They're long gone. Their play calling has been suspect. They're not using the weapons that they paid to get. Kyle Pitts. I mean, that's just incredible to me. I liked them in the preseason. Mariota and him seemed to get along and mesh really well, and now it's just falling apart. And the Falcons are going to Falcon. They've got a curse on them I don't know about. Maybe there's a goat somewhere. But, yeah, they're falconing.
Yeah, they're shooting for a quarterback next year, I think.
Yeah. Well, I love the way Mariota's playing so far. I'm loving the way.
As a Saints
I'm just
fan, I really like him too, honestly.
That's such a good point, Amanda.
But
she's over here wearing a Packers jersey. Let's not forget about that.
Listen, I'll get him in a Falcons jersey.
You'll know.
We got to make a bet for that for the next time they play. All right, perfect.
But I think they are long gone. Just as you said, they're the cream of the crop in the NFC South. There's too many better teams above them.
Miles?
I'm right there. The Falcons they're done. They're going for a quarterback next year.
Let's go to the Raiders here. They've got losses against the Chargers, 24-19, and then the giving it up in overtime with the fumble to Hunter Renfrow. They lost to the Cardinals as well. Miles, where's your opinion here for the Raiders? Are they a long shot for the playoffs, or are they long gone?
I think they're long gone. I think they're done. They got a first-year head coach in there. But it's a good year for them to all figure it out. They have everybody there. They're probably going to keep most of their production next year. So I think they have a lot better shot next year.
That is a great point, being able to use this as kind of like not necessarily a buffer year, but kind of get that first year under their head coach with him being that first year and getting that rekindling the chemistry between him, Derek Carr, his younger brother, Derek Carr, and Devontae Adams. So I think they're long gone as well. There's just too many better teams above them in the AFC.
Mrs. Muller?
I am saying they're a long shot. I think him and Devontae are going to figure it out. Both of those losses were admirable losses to decent teams. It's not like the Bengals losing to the Cowboys with a backup quarterback. I mean, these were good games, good losses. They're a long shot, but I think they'll still do it.
You guys are listening to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, also 102.1 in Mariana and 101.9 in Port St. Joe. Give us a text today at 850-215-6290. Coming up next, we've got the president, the CEO of Destination Panama City, Jennifer Vigil. She's going to break down Oktoberfest right here with the Afternoon Underdogs. Make sure that you keep us locked in.
ESPN Northwest Florida. Here's what's happening.
Listeners in Northwest Florida and South Alabama, be prepared. It's hurricane season. We're collecting items residents here and around the country will need in the event of a hurricane. Toiletries, garbage bags, diapers, over-the-counter medicines, clothing, batteries, first aid. Items can be dropped off at our new offices on the beach. 204 Ellen Lane, Suite B, Panama City Beach, 32408. Hurricane Relief America is sponsored by Event Production, Blab TV, and ESPN Northwest Florida.
My weather forecast for this afternoon, mostly sunny skies, a few scattered clouds, low 90s expected. Water temperature in the Gulf of Mexico is 84. Light winds tonight, mid to upper 70s, mostly clear skies. Friday's going to be mostly sunny in the low 90s, more the same for Saturday. This weather forecast has been brought to you by KHS and Associates, your source for affordable health insurance. For 104.3 and 102.1 ESPN Northwest Florida, I'm meteorologist Tim Root.
We know that juicy, cheesy, grilled to perfection burger sounds amazing, but it does sound like something is missing. Pepsi, baby! The yin to this burger's yang. Burgers and Pepsi go together like Well, like burgers and Pepsi. This perfect blending of flavors makes every bite of lettuce, every sesame seed on the bun, and every sip of that crisp, refreshing, ice-cold cola a journey to Foodtopia. Burgers, better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
Is that the sound of an ooey gooey, cheesy, crunchy slice of P-I-Z-Z-A? Obviously. But as good as that sounds, we think it can get even better. Oh yeah, that's the sound of a freshly opened fizz-filled Pepsi. The only thing that can take this flavor medley of crunchy dough, mouth-watering cheese, and savory sauce to the next level. How about another bite? Pepsi and pizza sound like a match made in heaven and taste even better. Pizza, better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
Hi, it's Coach James Hale. Keeping your car looking great is easy as 1, 2, 3 at Blue Sky Express Car Wash. By joining their monthly wash club, you'll get the best bang for your buck. And just 2 car washes, your monthly membership pays for itself. Don't miss the summer deal where all your monthly memberships are 50% off on your first month, starting at $9.99 a month. Become a member today at Blue Sky Express Car Wash on Back Beach Road, right next to Home Depot. Tell them Coach Hale sent you.
Doing what other stations can't. The Afternoon Underdogs is live and local inside the Rib Crib Radio Room. 850-215-6290.
When you have completed dialing, listen for the ringing signal.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
You guys are listening to ESPN Northwest Florida on 104.3 here in Panama City, 101.9 in Port St. Joe, Mexico Beach, and Apalachicola, and 102.1 in Mariana, Chipley, and Bonifay, where we are giving you a chance to win a championship getaway. Make sure you're listening to the Coach James Hale Show at 8:45 in the morning. Glad to be joined by Jennifer Vigil, who's the president and CEO of Destination Panama City, and Oktoberfest is upon us. We're kicking it off tomorrow night. Jennifer, first off, how's it going? And then let's talk a little bit about some Oktoberfest.
It's hectic. Beer deliveries coming in everywhere, every few hours. There's more than 75 craft brews that are coming in for tomorrow. So tomorrow's the only ticketed event. Tomorrow is just a regular old general admission ticket. You buy your ticket, you get in, and you can sample as many of the 75 craft beers as often as you like. There'll be food trucks there to buy food if you want, and Son of Saints is playing on the stage. But it's really just a big, huge craft beer tasting. There's more than 15 Oktoberfest varieties, so we're really excited about the portfolio this time. And then on Saturday is the free family-friendly event, and that's on Harrison Avenue. And that one goes pretty much all day from 3 to 10. There's Steinhouse Gang starting it off, an a cappella group, and then Tyler James and the Voodoo Jelly. There's kids games. There's over 35 vendors that will be out there. Stein hoisting competition, cornhole competitions. It's going to be a crazy weekend.
Oh, that is just a ton of fun. It sounds like I cannot wait for it. So, a Stein lifting competition? What is that?
It's a feat of strength. You have to hold the beer straight with your arm straight out. Like you can't bend your elbow, you can't bend your wrist, you can't bend your shoulder. You have to hold the Stein straight out, and you have to not spill any beer, and it's filled up to the rim.
Oh, it's to the rim.
Yeah, and you're competing against not only yourself but the other competitors, because there's so many people that enter it. We have heats, so you're really going for best time. So you can't just quit because the guy next to you quit. You got to go for the longest possible time you can.
Do y'all have records aligned with this?
I think last year was probably the longest I've ever seen, and he was at like 7 minutes.
Whoa.
The next closest person was only at 4 minutes. It was ridiculous. And crazy, it wasn't like the big buff guy. It was just like average Joe standing there. Like, I've done this before. I've held this beer.
He practiced his whole life for that moment.
Exactly.
I wonder how much practice actually does go into that, though, right? There's got to be some people, their competitive juices get flowing, and they're like, wait, Oktoberfest is 30 days away, so that means it's time for me to work out at least 3 days a week where I'm holding it for at least 4 to 5 minutes. I don't even know if I could hold my hand out straight for 5 minutes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't think I can. But I think after listening to you guys debate the sports talk, I think you guys should probably come and be the guest speakers for the Stein hoisting. Looks like he's dipping over there.
I'm fairly certain.
He's got a little
could
shake.
hold- I could hoist longer than these guys. I'm pretty sure.
I would not doubt it. I would.
Celebrity round right here.
Well, what do we have to do here? Yeah, I mean, do we? It's you're so strong. Like, I don't know if we could get you, but I would not back down to the competition. So if we have to make this happen,
She serves them for a living.
that is
so.
true.
Not anymore, but yes, I have. Dave and Buster's does do a Stein hoisting competition
Really?
every Sunday of October because we have our own Oktoberfest things going on. So I can facilitate the Steins. We
And
can
these
do
are big
this.
ones. These are
Yeah,
big
they're big. Yeah,
They're
they're
big ones.
Oh.
a Stein is not like
It's not just a mug.
No, it's. I can facilitate some Steins.
I'm used to doing the 12-ounce curls. That's me, but I don't.
But that's
know
12
the Stein.
ounces, and it sounds like
Yeah,
to me
yeah,
y'all
that's
got
a-
40s going on over here.
They're like 30 and above usually.
Yeah, they're pretty big glasses.
And so not only the beer is
The glass. Yeah, the
exactly
glass
the
itself is pretty
the
heavy.
weight of the glass.
Are the glasses chilled?
They're well, because we have so many heats, they're
No.
not chilled.
Okay.
Because
That would be-
it would just maybe be chilled in the beginning and not at the end.
That would be an added thing, though, for the championship round, chilled mugs.
Let me get a late heat, please. I don't want it sliding.
Well, what's worse though is if if you are one of the later ones and then they start chilling and then they start sweating
Yep.
on you and then
Yeah,
that's just a whole nother. Oh, the weather's starting to play a part here.
No chilling.
We need a dome. We need a Stein hoisting dome. Take away the weather element.
that is so awesome. And what day is the Stein hoisting competition on Friday or?
It's on Saturday.
It's
at
on
the regular
Saturday.
festival. So there's a couple competitions. Not only Stein hoisting. I mean, because if you can't beat her at Stein hoisting, there is a costume contest.
I think I could get it. Well, no, I can't. She started out with a Green Bay Packers jersey on. She won. She already won.
No, you have to
I
be
wanna
like
talk about
Oktoberfest dressed up.
Oh.
Lederhosen.
Lederhosen and your drindles and.
I think I could pull off some drindles now. I guess I don't. I don't. What are drindles?
This dress?
It's the dress.
Well, it is 2022. What the heck? Why not give it a
I
go?
will put on Lederhosen if you put on Grindles.
Amanda will wear some drindles. And what is the what? So what?
Lederhosen.
Oh, dust off your lederhosen.
Yes.
All right. Good stuff there. So I don't think I'll find myself in a drindle. What are some other things that we can look forward to here for Oktoberfest over the weekend?
So cornhole competition. There's a bunch of kids games that are going to be there. Like I said, there's more than 35 vendors that are going to be out there on Harrison Avenue on Saturday. And that one is always free and open to the public. If you're a real beer aficionado, though, you got to come out tomorrow night. Like I said, there's more than 75 craft beers. It's seasonal what do you call it? Ciders?
Ciders, yeah.
Meads, ports. We have a bunch of 98 Distilleries going to be out there with like some regular old alcohol.
Regular old
We call that rack, just a regular old alcohol, y'all.
History class is going to be out there.
Oh,
with some
wow.
Their specials, and then the food trucks are going to be there. So it's kind of more of an adult night tomorrow night, and then family fun on Saturday.
Now I'm going to be on Wakulla tomorrow night calling the Mosley game, so I won't be able to make it for Friday night, but Saturday, do you have an idea of when the Stein hoisting competition will be? Not that I want to enter, but I think that would be a great viewing opportunity.
It's usually between about 5 and 7. It's while it's still daylight out, because then we get into the costume contest.
What's the dude who does the hot dog eating competition?
Chestnut.
Joey
No,
Chestnut.
he's the winner, but the guy who's like, and now from I think I can pull that off for
I
you
think
guys.
so. That'd be great.
I think you can. You guys just need to be there and commentate on the entire thing.
Maybe we'll make some Facebook Live videos or
There you
something,
go.
and then tag
Yes.
Destination Panama City
We'll let
in
you
it.
guys be the judges of who's bending their elbow and who's not.
I need a line judge on the elbow bend.
On the field reporter.
Yeah. And now to our side beer reporter.
He hates refs, so we'll put him in the ref uniform.
Hey, anyone who hates refs should have to do their time as an official of some
Absolutely.
sort. Yeah. So 75 craft beers you mentioned, right?
Yeah.
Is there 2 or 3 maybe that stand out to you or that you've come to love over the years? Or is that putting you on the spot?
Well, So
You love all 75.
I do not.
That's honest. I like that.
I have, and my favorite is not even going to be there because it's such a cool craft beer. You can pretty much get it everywhere at Publix and everything now. And for the craft beer tastings, we really try to get the off-the-wall ones that you can't get just anywhere, so that people will come out because they're seeking those beers. I mean, some of these cases of beer are almost $100. So they are like the epitome of like those people that run around with that Untapped app to check all the beers that they've ever had. It is like you can get some check marks off your bucket beer lists now.
Is there a place online that we can go and look and see which beers?
That'd be great.
So our social media is actually making posts and stories today showcasing some of the beers that are out there. But my favorite is always Sweetwater Blue. And I love Sweetwater Blue. It's a very nice summer beachy beer.
See, for me, where they got me with that particular one is anything blue, right? Jolly Rancher. It doesn't matter if it has the word blue in it or if it has the tint of blue to it. I'm automatically attracted to it. So yeah, they got me in the same exact way as you.
It's just very light. I love, and it doesn't even really taste like blueberry. It just smells like blueberry.
Yes, that is a good point too.
Really good. But we have some that people drove in from Chicago last week. We have some that came in from the Maryland area. I know, go Bears.
Yes.
By default, I have to vote for the Vikings right now. My boyfriend is a Vikings fan. So
Skull. It's cool.
I was a Bears fan, and all of a sudden he's like, no.
Well, why not House Divided, though?
Because I don't pay attention enough.
Okay.
I'm just like, by default,
that's fine. Anybody but the Packers, you're good.
Yeah, all I know, my only job in the friend group is when something good happens, I'm like, we're going to the Super Bowl. That's all I say all year long.
You're a good Viking fan already. I like this.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's a lot of great stuff. You said Son of Saints is going to be there as well. So, what time will they be hitting the stage?
Son of Saints is Friday night, so they're
Friday
tomorrow,
night? Okay.
and they are going to go from 6 to 10.
Oh, wow.
That's a long set.
Saturday, we have like the Oompa Oompa band. It's called the Steinhaus Gang.
I love it.
Yeah, and they will be 3 to 6. Then we have an a cappella group singing German songs from 6 to 6:30, and then Tyler, James, and the Voodoo Jelly take the stage from 6:30 to 9:30.
Well, it's going to be a lot of fun this week. And again, tell the people where they need to be and at what times over the weekends.
Absolutely. So Friday from 6 to 10, you need to be at Destination Panama City's Love PC Field so that you can enjoy the Oktoberfest craft beer tasting. And then on Saturday from 3 to 10, you can be anywhere from the 200 to 400 block of Harrison Avenue in historic downtown Panama City.
So we're talking Destination Panama City block party, man. That is going to be a lot of fun for Oktoberfest. Jennifer, thank you for all that you and the rest of the gang at Destination Panama City do. It's I'm sure that it's a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun that you guys infuse into people's lives, and we're very appreciative for you.
Thank you. Hope to see you guys out this weekend.
Oh, no doubt. It's going to be hard to keep me away from Saturday evening because I might just have to infiltrate myself into the Stein hoisting competition or at least announcing or judging or something. Jennifer Vigil, thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and take a quick time out. When we get back, we're going to wrap up our long shots or long gones talking about 0-2 teams with the playoffs here on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Big shout out to Jennifer Vigil. Y'all go check out Oktoberfest this weekend, but we still have, oh no, we've given away our last pair of tickets just before Jennifer came in. You guys, it's going to be a big time event at Destination Panama City this Saturday. If you don't got tickets, get them now. Where's a good place to get them?
DestinationPanamaCity.com.
Boom. We'll be back.
Weather in the Panhandle never stops. Turn to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida and staff meteorologist Tim Root for up-to-the-minute weather reports all day long.
Moving northwestward into the Gulf of Mexico by the weekend.
In-depth storm coverage.
Gusty winds up to 60 miles per hour.
And breaking weather as it happens.
We do have a tropical storm warning.
ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Game days are always better at Dave & Buster's. That's because more TV inches, more food and drinks, more space, and more fun make the game we all know and love more special. Nothing beats seeing your favorite team take the field on the two 12-foot big screens or 26 75-inch TVs. Throw in the arcade experience and you've got a winning atmosphere that no other sports bar can deliver. Follow the fun at Dave & Buster's Panama City Beach on Facebook and Instagram. Eat, drink, play, and watch sports at Dave & Buster's.
Signworks, a business serving businesses since 1985. Everything from signs and banners, vehicles and boats, magnetic and real estate signs, contractor signs, and much more. Signworks can do large format, full color printing too. Signworks, a real professional in the business world. Call Signworks at 785-8899. Signworks, 850-785-8899.
Tired of being overcharged each month for health insurance or finding out you still have significant out-of-pocket costs from copays or deductibles when you do go see the doctor? Hi, I'm Kevin Shady with KHS & Associates. Our independent insurance agency has helped individuals, families, and even small business employees lower their health care insurance costs with no copays, no 80/20 coinsurance, and no deductibles unless you're hospitalized overnight. Call or text us at 502-386-1128. That's 502-386-1128.
This is Kyle, Service Manager from Barano Heating and Air. Schedule an appointment from your mobile device to learn about our Total Comfort Service Program. With guaranteed same-day service, 15% off necessary repairs, and $25 berry bucks to use towards air filters and other products. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Barano Heating and Air. Any day, anytime, anywhere. Online at baranoac.com.
Florida license, CAC 1816-186.
From the Florida-Bama line to the Gulf of Mexico, from the Upper Grand Lagoon to McKenzie Park, we are live and local.
Whether you like it or not, you have a gift.
Now back to the Afternoon Underdogs, live from the Rib Crib Radio Room, ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida on 104.3 in Panama City, 101.9 in Port St. Joe, Mexico Beach, and Apalachicola, and on 102.1 in Mariana, Chipley, and Bonifay, where we are giving you a chance to win a championship getaway. Tune in 8:45 a.m. to the Coach James Hale Show. And ESPN Northwest Florida is the station with the most touchdowns on the Gulf Coast. This Saturday at 10 a.m., the coverage will start for Missouri versus Auburn, kickoff at 11, and then at 5:30, the coverage starts for Arkansas versus Texas A&M, kickoff at 6 p.m. We left off talking long shots or long gones. Let's get into the Tennessee Titans here. Are they a long shot for the playoffs at 0-2, or are they long gone? Miles, you look ready to tee off here. Go ahead and let me have it.
They're done, man. They're in the dirt. I don't see them coming back for much. They have Ryan Tannehill, and they have a rookie behind him, so they don't have competent quarterback play yet, unless they can start Malik Willis and he can figure it out and turn it around pretty quick, which I don't see happening this year. He might be the guy, though. I have to give that 2 years for me to call any quarterback the guy for that team.
Yeah, that's a good take. Amanda.
I'm with him. They're long gone. Tannehill just isn't keeping up the way he needs to. Derrick Henry is stopped every chance he gets. Everyone knows exactly what they're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we talked about it earlier. The play calling for the Titans has just been so lackluster. I mean, I know what's going to happen from the couch.
Yeah, no doubt. Drew.
I would love to say something different. Previously living in Tennessee, but they are long gone.
All right, so I'll be the difference maker here. It's like a long shot with an echo. But their saving grace is that they're going to be in the AFC South, which at this point in time is looking like the NFC East has the last, 4 to 5 years, if you will. That's going to be their saving grace, right? The Jaguars, do you really expect them to, be there when the season is said and done? Well, they could be, because look at what we've seen from them to this point. But also what we've seen from the Colts. But the Colts started 0-3 last year, and then were one win away from being into the playoffs. So there's that. I do agree with you guys that Ryan Tannehill isn't necessarily the answer. But when I say that, I mean, like, he's not the answer for a Super Bowl. But to get you to find a run and something happened, it could. I do think that to this point, Derrick Henry has looked like a shell of himself, but that's because the offensive line is a shell of itself from prior years as well. I mean, I'm not making excuses here. The Titans do not look good, but neither does any other team in the AFC South. Like, if they were in any other division in football right now, wrap it up, week 8, 9, 10, go ahead and put Malik Willis in, see what happens from there. I'll go with long shot, but I'm closer to you guys' sentiments than I am my own here. Let's talk about the Panthers. Long shot, long gone here. They brought in Baker Mayfield. They're sitting at 0-2. Long shot or long gone? Miles?
Long gone. Matt Rule's looking to get back into college football. He'll be fired in the next 4 or 5 weeks.
Long gone. Christian McCaffrey will probably be injured in the next 2 weeks. And then everything that they've built, and then it's all on Baker's shoulders. And that's a scary thought.
Yeah.
I'm also going long gone. The past few years, whenever I see McCaffrey drafted so quickly in fantasy drafts, I'm just like, guys, let's think about last year. Now it's 2 years, and I agree. Give it a few weeks. He'll be injured again, and Baker can't handle it all by himself.
I hate it for him, though.
I do too.
He is a great player, but
who was it that said? Oh, it was Nick Chubb's statement saying, why didn't you slide, essentially, or whatever? Who told you to slide in the past when you have done that? And he was like, the answer is Baker Mayfield, and Baker Mayfield does have that game awareness, but also at the same time, you have quarterbacks who play without emotion, and then you have quarterbacks who play with emotion, with their emotions on their sleeve, and sometimes that's not beneficial. I like Miles' take on it is that Matt Rule's not too far from, maybe even, I think that Nebraska won't make a move for Matt Rule because they're trying to get back in the recruiting fight, if you will. But at the same, I think Matt Rule's a step away from going back to the college football world, and that doesn't bode well for the Panthers, and you're a step away from an injury. You're a game away from an injury with Christian McCaffrey, and when that happens, the Panthers have shown in years past that they don't have the ability to change, or they just don't want to change the playbook to call things that aren't meant for Christian McCaffrey.
Do y'all think Baker lives in the stadium like he did in Cleveland?
Well, I haven't seen a commercial to prove it yet.
He was evicted immediately.
I wish they would have had the.
They should have rolled with it and had him move into the new one.
Yeah, and then have him passing the keys off to whoever it would be at that point, Jacoby Brissett, I guess. And then week 11, new commercial, and it's like Jacoby Brissett's
passing the keys to somebody else.
Did a shot.
Turns it into an Airbnb.
The Browns fans are just absolutely they're 100% behind their guy in Deshaun Watson, aren't they? Man.
Yeah, they're doing some disgusting things.
Those fans, that is just relentless out there. My gosh.
Man.
And can we bring our attention to something that no one saw at the beginning of this? We've got all of these teams that went 0-2. You know whose name is on here twice?
The Giants?
Yes. No one saw that. They thought they would be on the other side of this.
1,000%.
And you know what? They'll be 3-0 after this weekend.
It's just absolutely insane to think about.
That's going to be – I think that the Giants' start to this season has made this Monday Night Football game – I was going to watch it anyways, but now I'm watching with intrigue, right?
Yeah, Monday Night Football, it's the only game you watch it, but now I'm excited to see this game. This is going to be a good one. Tonight's game, I'm like, okay.
We're going to get into that at 5:45, but we don't have to wait too long if you guys don't want to, since we finished up long shots and long gones there. First, want to remind everybody, Dave & Buster's is sponsoring the fantasy football updates this year, or not just the fantasy football updates, but the leagues in general. And Amanda is the assistant GM, general manager there at Dave & Buster's. She does a fantastic job there. And when she comes in here, you guys already know, you're listening. She does a great job as well here, helping us out on the Afternoon Underdogs. The champions high score last week, instead of kind of trying to get in too many categories, I just did high score for today, and we'll get deeper into it as the year goes on. But Callaway Cavemen were the high scores in the Champions League. He had 173.66 points. In the 104.3 League, the South League, it was PCB here for the beer. He had 158.58 with the high score. Last week, he was the high scorer in this league as well with the same exact score, 158.58. Have you ever scored the same amount of points to the decimal back-to-back weeks? I've never done that. I never even came close. No. For me, normally it's like, okay, 130 one week and then struggling to break 100 the next week. And then in 102.1, the North League, it was PC Colts Fanatic with 172.56. How did you guys do in your leagues? How did you do this week?
Well, after going 3-1 last week, I went 1-3 this week.
Ooh.
It was a rough week.
I went 0-3 last week and 3-0 this week, so I know exactly how you feel. How'd you do?
I went 2-0 this week.
So you're sitting at you went 1-1 last week, right?
Yeah, so I'm 2-0 in one league and 1-1 in the other.
So 3-1 overall, not too shabby. This guy, he's
2-0 last week, 2-0 this week. I tried to tell y'all last week, I'm not stopping.
Oh, okay.
Good stuff. Hey, look right there, bro. Who are you guys confident about this week that maybe the confidence level has risen for you over your 2 weeks and going into your third week? Is there a guy that stands out to you?
Well, to me, it's the reason why the Titans have not done well, and it's A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown for the Eagles. I didn't know what to expect because I didn't know what to expect from Hurts.
Yeah.
But I took him as a mid-round flyer. He ended up becoming my number one receiver so far and has just produced out of his mind. And he's going up against the Commanders this weekend. I'm excited to see what he's able to do.
I'm saying Amon-Ra St. Brown. I've got him in both leagues. I love him. He's doing great. But the one that I've been having on the bench that I'm going to move him up, I see a lot of good things happening, is Raheem Mostert.
Yeah.
I've got Mostert down there, and I'm liking it. They used him a lot more last week, and I think Tua had a heck of a game, but I think he's realizing how many weapons he has, and that's one of them, so I'm going to put him back in.
I like that because I was saying I think as we go through the year, you're going to see more Mostert, at least until injury pops up, than you will Chase Edmonds. I love that. What you got, Miles?
I got Joe Burrow. He's only got me about 10 to 12 points the first 2 weeks, but I'll still manage to find a way to win. And I just think this week and going forward, he's going to have big numbers for me and help me out a lot.
Yeah, I love all of those takes. For me, a guy that I'm confident in, I normally don't play players on Thursday night, but I think that a guy that's really, for as much as you thought responsibility was going to be on his shoulders, Nick Chubb. I know that that's kind of more of an obvious answer, but for me, I hate playing players on Thursday night football, but I'm going with Nick Chubb. What about who's the guy that you're on the fence about that just had, like, you expect him to do it, kind of like what you were talking about, but just you're on the fence, and week 3 is going to be that deciding factor of if he doesn't do it this week, I'm probably going to have to drop him. For me, it's going to be, and I don't think that this is any fault of his own, but Adam Thielen. He's not getting the targets with Justin Jefferson over there, and then if Jefferson's double covered or whatever, instead of hitting Thielen, he's going to Irv Smith and Jalen Reagor and stuff. So what about for you, Amanda?
Mine's Kyle Pitts. Like I said, it's not happening like I thought it would. I had to draft him high to get him because, everyone thought so highly. But, yeah, he's got one more week with me before we see what happens.
Mine's MVS on the Chiefs. He's put up 8 points the first week, 3 points last week. Now, they are playing the Colts this weekend, and I do have Mike Evans on both my teams, and he is suspended. So I might put MVS in for him. But right now, I have Elijah Moore. He needs a touchdown this year. I don't think he has one yet, so he's due for one. So I think it's
with your
coming
boy
this week.
Chase Claypool that you're playing tonight.
I was looking earlier today and yesterday at trying to find another one. I was perusing our quarterbacks because Russell Wilson. Oh, my God, dude. What is going on in Denver?
Yeah, something about that atmosphere is not jiving with Russell Wilson. He's not figuring it out. But, again, I blame the play calling on that one. Yeah. He is getting some terrible play calling. It's pretty obvious to everybody. But until it changes, I agree. That's tough.
He was supposed to be my number one, my solidified guy, and I just don't know where to go. The next best available guys, I think, like Trubisky or someone like that.
Don't hate on Trubisky.
Not hating on Trubisky.
But in the world of fantasy football right now, there's a difference in, what's happening on the football field in terms of wins and losses. And then, like, is Mitch Trubisky a guy who's going to be able to put – it's like Mac Jones is your fantasy quarterback.
I would say Mac Jones wouldn't be bad either. It depends on the way your league – plays out for points and everything, but I would say Trubisky gets more points than Russell Wilson this week.
I love it. Miles, you got anything? All right, you guys are listening to the Afternoon Underdogs here on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Got to ask Amanda real quick here, where's the best place to go watch some football on a Sunday afternoon?
Dave and Buster's.
And you heard it here first. And a great place to listen to Thursday Night Football. If you don't have Amazon Prime, get the ESPN Northwest Florida app. Carry us with you where you go. And you're going to get the Steelers and the Browns tonight. Cover starting at 6:30. We'll be back in a few. You got to start feeling.
Weather in Northwest Florida can change on a dime.
Gale force winds bombarded with heavy rain.
That's why 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida has the most up-to-date forecast on the Gulf Coast. Hi, this is staff meteorologist Tim Root. With over 40 years of experience, I know just how fast we can go from sun and fun to a serious situation. For the most accurate and detailed weather when it matters, rely on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Whether you're cheering from home or at the game, the Lawrence Group Keller Williams is giving you the chance to call in to win. A Blackstone griddle, a Yeti cooler, a 4K HD projector system, a gift card to Beef O'Brady's, and custom cornhole boards with your favorite team. The Lawrence Group Keller Williams wants you to have the ultimate tailgate. Tomorrow, between 9 and 4, call 850-788-7647. Call in, answer a few questions, and you're entered to win. The Lawrence Group Tailgate Giveaway.
Ben and Deb Collins, owners of Bay Guns and Gear, have been in business since 2010, offering new firearms and accessories with a huge selection available for your hunting needs and personal defense. Turn to Bay Guns and Gear. They have the weapon for you. Discount pricing. And if you can't find what you're looking for, they'll special order it for you. Bay Guns and Gear, across from Grease Pro at 3115 Highway 77. Visit their website, baygunsandgear.com.
It's time to let the fall adventures begin in a new Kia from Bill Bird Kia. Now offering 3.49% up to 48 months on the purchase of a new 2022 Kia Sorento. You can expand your horizons and write your next chapter with confidence in the outgoing and adventurous 2022 Kia Sorento that has the perfect balance of comfort, safety, performance, and technology. Bill Bird Kia is the home of the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by and see us at 2435 East 15th Street or anytime at BillBirdKia.com. We make buying a car easy and will give you the peace of mind you can trust.
Offer from KMF for the purchase of a new 2022 Sorento with $22.36 per month per 1,000 financed in 48 months. Quantities limited. No down payment required. Can be combined with other finance offers. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Bill Bird Kia warranty. See dealer for complete details. Offer for well-qualified buyers. Must take delivery from dealer stock through 10/31/22.
From Mariana to Panama City, from Southport to Laguna Beach, this is the Panhandle's home for live and local sports coverage. Now back to the Afternoon Underdogs, live from the Rib Crib Radio Room. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back into ESPN Northwest Florida on 104.3 here in Panama City, 101.9 in Port St. Joe, Mexico Beach, and Apalachicola, and 102.1 in Mariana, Chipley, and Bonifay, where we are giving you a chance to win a championship getaway. Tune into the Coach James Hale Show at 8:45 in the morning. Now it's time to text in the answer for the trivia question. First one to pop up here is going to be the winner. We already had, for our Oktoberfest, we had Pete, the winner. For the Oktoberfest tickets. We had a couple of texts in before him as well. Got a text in from someone. This is Robbie in Panama City. Amanda needs to burn that Packers jersey that she's wearing. Go Bears, and the Packers still suck. From Robbie. Travis says, I don't think the Titans are long gone. I think they will pick it up. Panthers are gone. Baker's just not NFL. He makes way too many mistakes. He made Odell look bad in the Browns. We saw that when he went to the Rams. And that's not a bad point at all. I mean, but when you're catching passes from Matt Stafford compared to Baker Mayfield, there is that. I do think that Baker, his football IQ is not terrible, but like we were talking earlier, when you wear your emotions on your sleeve as a quarterback, it's hard to stay composed and lead your team to victories when you're kind of behind the ball or behind the 8 ball, if you will. Trivia question: what FBS team just pulled off a very rare feat with an overtime double-digit win? It hadn't been done at the FBS level since 1998 before last week. The only answer we need from you guys is the name of the team who pulled off that rare feat with an overtime double-digit win. For your chance to win $25 to Rib Crib, that boot store, and a 12-pack of Buffalo Rock. You can pick up your new prize or pick up your prizes at the new office, 204 Ellen Lane, Suite B. All right, let's get into, or let's see here, where are we at? We're going to be making our picks in the next segment. We've got some more on fantasy we can get into, or what? Oh,
Can I ask y'all a question?
Go ahead. I'll allow it.
Do y'all think Sean Payton will be the next head coach of the Cowboys?
Okay.
Oh, man.
Now, before everyone else answers, no, let's let everyone else. Amanda, go ahead. You seemed excited about that.
No, I don't. I don't think he will. Jerry Jones has got. I don't know if he has if he owns souls. I think he owns people's souls, and Sean Payton is not a soul of his. It's just Mike McCarthy. He's going to be there. He's going to stay for a while. It's going to happen. I'm just saying, Mike McCarthy has taken the Packers to a Super Bowl, so I think he's going to stay for a few more seasons.
Drew, do you have anything?
I am gonna go with no. I don't think he will go back to Dallas, just based off of previous experience with being a Saints fan and knowing the mindset of Sean Payton. He wants to either work hand in hand with the GM or not necessarily be the GM, but have a major say. And
that's what I'm saying. Jerry Jones has to own whoever's over there.
Exactly. And whenever he was with the Saints, the Miss Gail Benson and Tom Benson, her late husband, let him have free reign. They were like, "Here, we know, we believe in you. Have free reign." Jerry Jones has already proven he is not that kind of guy.
Mm-hmm. Well, Sean Payton said on a podcast, New Orleans podcast today, that he's willing to get into coaching starting next year
for the right situation.
And that would be the Cowboys. And I'm willing to put all of my money I've ever made in my life that he will be the next Cowboys head coach.
I'd like to see it. I don't think it's going to happen because I agree. Jerry Jones will not give him the free reign he's going to want.
Well, if someone wants to take Miles up on that bet, they'll be the brand new winner of $6.
$6.50.
We're giving
it. My bad.
We're giving away big things over here at ESPN Northwest Florida, man. Miles got the bag. I have to agree with these guys on this side of the table is that it's just that control thing. Like when you go from an environment where you call the shots the way that you see fit, and then you're put in a micromanaged situation. Let's say he does go to the Cowboys because, that's a coveted job, right? And he's not... If he's micromanaged, I just don't see it lasting very long at all. So I don't think that he goes there, and I think that you're going to see other jobs. You might even see what do we have, like 10 first-year coaches this year in the NFL? You might have a team. You talked about play calling with the Broncos. They see a few more of these kind of what are you doing type games from Nathaniel Hackett. Now, I don't believe that it's the correct way to go about things, just getting rid of a guy before you've seen a whole lot from him. But if you've got Nathaniel Hackett, first-year coach on this hand, or, first-year coach in this hand, any of them, and then Sean Payton in the other, I mean,
absolutely.
Well, let's revisit this after Mike McCarthy gets fired at the end of this year, and then his name will pop back up everywhere.
Yeah,
it might, but he won't
1,000%.
take the job. I don't think he's going to take the job.
There are probably 25 to 27 teams in the NFL that would drop their head coach immediately for Sean Payton right now. And I'm not saying it's entirely out of the question for him to go to Dallas, but I just don't see it happening.
Yeah, I think he's going to have a pick of a few teams, and Dallas, because of the control issues, won't be on his front running.
Exactly, because if I was Sean Payton and you gave me the chance at Russell Wilson with all his weapons and everything that's happening over in Denver, or what's going on in Dallas? I'm going Denver.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's easy.
Caveman Rick says, definitely Sean Payton is the next coach of the Cowboys. Big Cloud, Mark McLeod says, I hope. They are good friends, Sean and Jerry. Adam Goff says, sup, boys and lady. Justin Laster says, who would have thought the Atlanta Braves would return to glory before the Cowgirls? That's good
well,
stuff.
he's not wrong.
Yeah, right.
Well,
And hopefully they can double dip, too.
Well, at all Dallas Cowboy fans, it's not a logo. It's just a rating. 1 star.
One star rating.
All right, man. Man, good stuff here. We did get a winner in for trivia. That was Travis. So, Travis, you can pick up your prize, Rib Crib, That Boot Store, 12-pack of Buffalo Rock at 204 Ellen Lane, Suite B. We're going to take a timeout. When we get back, it's time for college football week 4 pick'em with myself, Drew, and Amanda. Amanda is in the lead. Find out what the scores are when we get back.
This is your captain speaking. Thank you for flying with ESPN Northwest Florida. Please return to your seats, buckle up, and prepare for launch.
It will lay down. Base hit. Here comes Ronald. Braves win it.
The defending world champion Atlanta Braves are sponsored by Bill Burr Kia, Beltway Portable Buildings, Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, Ellis Agency Insurance, and ESPN Northwest Florida. And we apologize for any turbulence you've experienced this season with the Atlanta Braves.
My weather forecast for this afternoon, mostly sunny skies, a few scattered clouds, low 90s expected. Water temperature in the Gulf of Mexico is 84. Light winds tonight, mid to upper 70s, mostly clear skies. Friday's going to be mostly sunny in the low 90s, more the same for Saturday. This weather forecast has been brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. For 104.3 and 102.1 ESPN Northwest Florida, I'm meteorologist Tim Root.
Game days are always better at Dave & Buster's. That's because more TV inches, more food and drinks, more space, and more fun make the game we all know and love more special. Nothing beats seeing your favorite team take the field on the two 12-foot big screens or 26 75-inch TVs. Throw in the arcade experience and you've got a winning atmosphere that no other sports bar can deliver. Follow the fun at Dave & Buster's Panama City Beach on Facebook and Instagram. Eat, drink, play, and watch sports at Dave & Buster's. Dust off your lederhosen. Get ready for historic downtown Panama City's 34th annual Oktoberfest. Kick off the weekend on Friday, September 23rd with Destination Panama City's second annual Oktoberfest craft beer tasting. Guests will enjoy unlimited access to craft beers, ciders, and meads on the beautiful Love PC lawn at 101 West Beach Drive. Plus, there's going to be food trucks and live music by Sons of Saints. This ticketed event will sell out, so get yours before it's too late. On Saturday, September 24th, Oktoberfest starts at 3 p.m. with fun for the whole family. The free event will have live music, seasonal and craft beer tents, and food booths with authentic German cuisine lining the streets alongside local businesses offering shopping, dining, and entertainment. For more information and tickets, visit DestinationPanamaCity.com. Host.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WTOT, W271DN Mariana, WVLQ Port St. John, powered by Pepsi, ESPN Northwest Florida. Live from the Rib Crib Studio. Hot takes, the latest trades, in-depth interviews.
That is my reaction.
We break it down for you right here.
Very big springboard for the rest of my career.
The Afternoon Underdogs.
That's the problem right there.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hour number 2 of the Afternoon Underdogs. You guys are listening to ESPN Northwest Florida on 104.3 in Panama City, 101.9 in Port St. Joe, Mexico Beach, and Apalachicola, 102.1 in Mariana, Chipley, and Bonifay. Tune into the Coach James Hale Show at 8:45 in the morning for a championship getaway announcement. All right, let's get into our picks. Coming up next, though, we've got the Real Fishing Report with Tim Braddock and Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle. As always, a lot of fun and a lot of learning goes into these segments. Miles.
David, you're picking today, right?
Yes, I'm picking, so you got it, buddy.
All right, we're going to go Drew, Amanda, then David. So
right.
we got college football, week 4 pick 'em. I did terrible. All y'all did better than me, so y'all are good. I'm bad.
Oh well, hold on. Yeah, while we're doing that, let's at least talk about Amanda and Drew here. So Amanda is number 1 overall in the standings right now. Last week she went 5-5, bringing her total to 19-11. Drew last week went 4-6, bringing his total to 13-17. I went 4-6 as well, bringing my total to 17-13. And then Todd is in second place. I'm in third place, tied with someone else. Who am I tied with here, Miles? Tyler Bishop. And then in second place is Todd Mueller, who went 7-3 last week, bringing his total to 18-12. We'll get AG, Caveman, and Miles totals tomorrow, and we'll just try to bring up the totals when those folks are on the show, because it's a lot of scores to read out. Miles, get back to hosting.
All right, so we got game number 1, number 17 Baylor at Iowa State. Iowa State is favored by 2.5. Drew, who you got?
I believe in Baylor. I believe in Dave Aranda. I think after that early season loss, I think he's going to turn it around, and they are my Big 12 pick, so I'm sticking with Baylor.
I'm also taking Baylor. Iowa State is not going to put up a fight against them this week.
Am I going to learn my lesson here from when Vegas is like telling you, hey, you might want to think twice about this
They're
pick?
always so close. When I see a line that close, I'm like, they know something I don't know.
They know something. So I think I'm going to have to scribble out my circle over here, put an X in it. I'm going to go with the Cyclones of Iowa State.
All right.
And hopefully I get that one so I can
good luck.
Get a little closer, get a little closer here with Amanda.
All right, game number 2. We got number 5 Clemson at number 21 Wake Forest. Wake Forest is 7.5-point underdogs.
Wake Forest did not look good last week against Pitt.
It was Liberty last week, right?
Mm-hmm.
Liberty last week?
Yeah, it was 31-30.
I don't know why I thought they played
No,
Pittsburgh.
keep going with your pick. I like this.
I'm going to take Clemson.
Okay, I'm taking Wake Forest. Give me that 7.5 points. I think it will be a close game. Bring it on.
I don't really believe that much in DJ Uiagalelei and the Clemson Tigers, but
Clemson is the top 3 defense in the country.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Keep your
I think
stats.
that's
I'm taking my 7.5 points and running. Who's winning?
Yeah, right. I'm just gonna copy her. No, let me go with the Tigers of Clemson here.
All right.
All right, game number 3. We got number 20 Florida at number 11 Tennessee. Tennessee is a 10.5-point favorite.
Tennessee runs away with this one.
I am taking Florida after the past 2 games. They've got to prove something. I'm hoping that with that 10.5 points, I'm not saying they win this game, but I'm saying they come within the 10.5, so I'm taking Florida.
Anthony Richardson turns the ball over a lot. Hendon Hooker tends not to turn the ball over. I believe all of last year, 3 interceptions. He didn't play the whole season, but when he took over that QB1 job, I'm going with Tennessee here on CBS to cover the 10.5 points, and I think that they'll do it by 2 touchdowns or more.
Game number 4, number 22 Texas at Texas Tech. Texas Tech is 6.5-point underdogs.
My heart tells me Texas, but I'm going to take Texas Tech.
Your heart is speaking to me. I'm taking Texas, though.
I'm going with Texas, man. Everybody was high on that Texas Tech game against North Carolina State. North Carolina State came in there, handled business. A lot of us here as well, we're talking about Utsa being able to stick within that. What was it, 10.5, 12.5 given out by Texas, and Texas ran away with it behind the arm of Hudson Card. I think Texas is in a lot better of shape than what we're trying to give them credit for after. I mean, everyone wanted to give them all the credit in the world after the Alabama game, right? But then the injuries were a concern. I don't think that the injuries are going to be as much of a concern against this Texas Tech team, but it's still any given Saturday.
Yeah, and here's a side note. Quinn Ewers has been practicing, and he should be dressed out for that game, and he possibly might start this Saturday.
Ooh, let's go.
So game number 5, number 10 Arkansas at number 23 Texas A&M. Texas A&M is 2.5-point favorites, and this game is in Dallas.
I think Arkansas is a sleeper pick in the SEC West, and after what Texas A&M has done early this year, I don't see them being able to pull it back together.
All right, you take Arkansas. With the game venue being what it is, I am taking Texas A&M.
And with the game venue being what it is, I'm going with Arkansas here because Jerry Jones has, I believe, stronger ties to Arkansas than what he does to the Aggies of Texas A&M. And, Max Johnson, everybody, was Max Johnson needs to be the quarterback and all of that good stuff, and he came in and didn't have a disappointing day, but he was only 10 of 20, so it's not like they just went pass heavy. I think Texas A&M here is going to fall flat, and Arkansas is going to get the job done. Get her done, Hogs.
Game number 6, we have Notre Dame at North Carolina. North Carolina is 1.5-point underdogs. When we looked up this game, they were underdogs. They are now favorites, but we have to go with what we picked on Monday. So North Carolina, 1.5-point underdogs.
That spread is mighty thin, but I'm going to take Notre Dame.
I am also taking Notre Dame. This is almost like a straight-up pick.
This one, I think, is going to be more fun than what people want to give it credit for as well. Look, you see North Carolina playing or Notre Dame playing some close games. You had that shootout with App State in North Carolina early, so I think that this turns into not necessarily a shootout. I don't think that you're going to get a plethora of scoring or a large amount of scoring, but I do think that both teams are going to be near the 30s here. I think the winner is in the 30s, the loser's in the 20s, and I like North Carolina to win this game and Mac Brown to keep on moving on up in that wins list total. I'm going to go with the Tar Heels of North Carolina.
Game number 7, we have Duke at Kansas, and this will be played in Madison Square Garden, as these are basketball schools.
I don't know anything
crazy.
else.
It's crazy. They're both 3-0. Like, this is insane.
And Kansas is favored by 9.5 points.
Yeah, I think that's even crazier than both of these teams being undefeated at this point.
Playing
Drew,
at Madison
take off.
Square Garden.
Yeah.
I honestly have no idea, but rock, chalk, Jayhawk. Let's go.
Okay, yeah, I'm taking Duke. I really am. The 9.5 points is just too much.
So for me in this one, I'm going to go with the favorite here. Will they win by 10 is my biggest question. And I'm more inclined to agree with that. But at the same time, I think Jalen Daniels and the Jayhawks have something special brewing over there with Coach Leopold. And who knows if he's going to still be the coach at Kansas after just even 3-0. I wouldn't be surprised to see a team like Nebraska like, whoa, you have changed the direction of that program. Come on over. Give me Kansas taking care of the 9.5 points.
Game number 8, we got Kansas State at number 6, Oklahoma. Oklahoma's 13.5-point favorites.
Venables has revitalized that defense. Give me Oklahoma.
I'm also taking Oklahoma 13.5. No problem. They will cover that easy.
So we saw Kansas State with the win against Missouri, right, 40-12, and everybody's like, oh, man, watch out for those Wildcats and Deuce Vaughn, right? And then they dropped the game to Tulane at the house. So inconsistency is the vibes that I'm getting from them. Whereas on the other side of Oklahoma, I had one of the biggest question marks to that new coach with Brent Venables. Like, is it, of course the defense is going to be changed up, but is he going to be able to bring the offense along with that defense? And in the Big 12, that's going to be crucial because you can play great defense, but you got to match up with those offenses as well. Well, he's brought it, and they're looking pretty good. And a lot of people picked Nebraska with those 12.5 points last week, and it was not even close. Now they're back here at the house. Let me get number 6 Oklahoma to cover 2 touchdowns. But this is one of those games that you just can't put your finger on any given Saturday again here. But I'll still take Boomer Sooner with 13.5 or covering 13.5.
Well, hopefully this next game's a little easier for you. We got Wisconsin at number 3 Ohio State. Ohio State is 17.5-point favorites.
Easy money.
Easy money. Give me Wisconsin to cover.
Yes.
Because Ohio State, as much as they are the number 3 team, they
scored 77 last week.
Yeah, but against who?
Toledo.
Thank you.
Wisconsin's pretty close to Toledo.
Played.
I'm gonna throw
Ohio State played Notre Dame the first game of the year.
Yeah.
And everyone was all like, "Oh, Ohio State's got a really good defense. They've retooled the defense." What has Notre Dame done since?
Nothing.
Almost lost all of them. They had to wear the green uniforms to get a dub.
Let's go Badgers. They're covering. I'm not ready to go out on a limb and say they're going to win, but I say they will cover because that 17.5. That's a big spread.
I accept the Badger love. I agree. I don't think this is going to be a win for Wisconsin, but 17.5 is a lot, and I think we're going to be a lot closer than anyone gives us credit for. And I will throw things at you if you keep looking at me like that. Miles?
How many times do you see Wisconsin passing the ball this weekend?
Okay, so we can't.
About same as the Bears, 11 of them.
Mertz, he's not my favorite. I know that we still need some work in the quarterback department, but we do have what it takes to get within 17.5 points. Like I said, not calling it a win outright, but I'm covering 17.5.
All right. Professor Plum says Ohio State 77. The Sisters of Mercy School 0. I think that I'm more inclined to agree with you guys on this one. And Miles, you can say what you want, but you have your time tomorrow to talk about this game. Wisconsin is getting a bad rap for a 3-point loss to Washington State. They should have never lost that game, but that's neither here nor there,
But
right?
what I said in the first time I think I was over here is we always lose to a nobody for whatever reason. We have got what it takes.
And I think that that's one of the cursors to why this is such a big spread, whereas you come in, and Wisconsin's known to have a great defense, right? And so you talked about that Ohio State and that Toledo game. Yeah, they put up 77. How much did they give up, though? They gave up 21 points to that Toledo offense. So
they're giving the defense a rest. We got Wisconsin this week.
Excuses.
Man, this one is a lot closer than I want it to be, I think. But I think Ohio State escapes at the end of this game with a larger margin than 17.5. I'm going to go with C.J. Stroud and the Buckeyes in this one to cover it.
Right now, I'm just saying.
You are.
You don't have to listen.
I don't want to give y'all any information that might make you change your picks, but the line has now moved to 19. So if you were going to take Ohio State, I would take them now while they're at 17. But y'all have already made y'all's picks. We'll see how it goes.
19, 17, doesn't matter. I'm coming closer than
19 is like more of a reason to go Wisconsin, right?
All right, last game. This is the Miles special for this week.
There you go.
We got James Madison at App State. App State is 7.5-point favorites.
I'm taking the home guys here. App State. They're proven so far this year, and I think they, as good as James Madison has looked, they haven't run into App State yet.
I am also taking App State, not to get into the fans versus who's actually playing on the field comments. They have got the whole school backing them.
Yeah.
Ride or die. They have got momentum behind them. Appalachian State.
So do I want to go presidential or residential of Boone here? That's pretty much what I'm boiling down to. We've seen App State and they're winning games, or they're if they lose, it's by not very much at all. But then you've got James Madison, who's won a few championships or been runner-up there at the FCS level. Will it translate in this game? I think that this is the game where a lot of people are saying maybe James Madison will stick within that 7.5 because App State hasn't been blowing people out. Will they fall flat after that big Hail Mary in that big-time game? I don't know. I'm going to say App State comes in and covers the 7.5 points here. So I've got the Mountaineers. And hopefully Luke Combs can give him a little bit more luck this week. Because, golly, how about that ending, though, in that game?
Man, that's just good football.
Couldn't write a better script.
That's too. You keep on alluding that way, man. I'm just not a big fan of that. You guys are riding with the Afternoon Underdogs here on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. The Real Fishing Report with Tim Braddock is coming up next. Reminder, coverage starting for Auburn and Missouri at 10 a.m., and then we'll wrap the day up. Kickoff at 6 for Arkansas, Texas A&M. We'll be right back.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
What many people, I think, not enough people know, is that Rob Ninkovich missed his calling. Rob Ninkovich should have been, like, on SNL.
Yeah.
The
It's not too late. It's not too late.
The Bears, give us a little.
You want Bob Swirsky to come here today and hear Greeny? We're sitting here, we're talking about the team, the best team in the whole wide world, the Bears.
Greeny, weekdays 2 to 4, ESPN Northwest Florida.
My weather forecast for this afternoon, mostly sunny skies, a few scattered clouds, low 90s expected. Water temperature in the Gulf of Mexico is 84. Light winds tonight, mid to upper 70s, mostly clear skies. Friday's going to be mostly sunny in the low 90s, more the same for Saturday. This weather forecast has been brought to you by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. For 104.3 and 102.1 ESPN Northwest Florida, I'm meteorologist Tim Root.
Whether you're cheering from home or at the game, the Lawrence Group Keller Williams is giving you the chance to call in to win. A Blackstone griddle, a Yeti cooler, a 4K HD projector system, a gift card to Beef O'Brady's, and custom cornhole boards with your favorite team. The Lawrence Group Keller Williams wants you to have the ultimate tailgate. Tomorrow, between 9 and 4, call 850-788-7647. Call in, answer a few questions, and you're entered to win. The Lawrence Group Tailgate Giveaway.
Get ready for the PCB Fishing Rodeo September 23rd through October 9th at Captain Anderson Marina. Join us for the kickoff party Saturday, September 24th with live music from 4 till 7 p.m. To be a part of this exciting event, you can register at Captain Anderson Marina or online at PCBFishingRodeo.com. The PCB Fishing Rodeo, September 23rd through October 9th.
The Real Fishing Report. It's expert insider information from Tim at Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle. What's biting? What bait to use? Where to cast? And now, the Real Fishing Report. On 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
You and me go fishing in the dark, lying on our backs and counting the stars where the cool grass grows. Welcome into the Rip Crib Radio Room where we keep it real here with Tim Braddock on the Real Fishing Report, brought to you by Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle. Tim, my man, what's going on, brother?
Oh, we're living the dream today. Every day, right? And some days we try to find out if it's a nightmare, if it's a dream.
Or are you living in your dreams?
I was literally chasing down a FedEx package. So I went through 2 drivers and a ship center, and was able to locate that package at about 4:15.
I mean, I gotta know, like, it's like Castaway. What was in the box?
A volleyball.
What's in the box?
That was 7, but.
Oh yeah, 7. Wine.
Oh, wow. Then I completely understand.
We're out of the house.
That is dedication right there.
Amazon.
Happy wife, happy life.
There you go. No, in all seriousness, we have an event tonight, a wine tasting event.
Oh, nice.
With an actual sommelier, and so the sommeliers prepare this entire event based on these certain wines, and they got it said operational delay when you went to go track it, and it was in red.
Which is like
that's
screams.
yeah, excuse like you're screwed kind of, And so we went. I literally found the first FedEx driver I could find down on the west end of the beach.
He's like, why is this guy chasing me?
I said, hey, I need this package, and it snowballed from there, and I ended up in Lynn Haven somehow.
Yeah.
And so
Did you get the wine?
yeah,
I'm so proud.
yeah, it was. We saved the event. It's going on here in just a minute, so I'm going to go there, and after we talk about the fishing and go enjoy some wine from Lebanon and Israel. And,
Oh, nice.
yeah, why not? So we didn't come talk about wine. But, one of my favorite people in history, Jesus, he turned water into wine. And then he went fishing.
Yeah.
He put a coin in the fish's mouth, and Peter didn't pay his taxes. So, somehow in a weird world, it all goes together.
Which went way left.
Yes.
I love that, man. That's funny.
Yeah, we can tie it all together.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about some fishing a little bit. I am curious to get a little bit of feedback from the folks in this group. And Miles, have you ever fished?
Yeah, I've fished. I've been bass fishing. I've been striper, bluefish.
Yeah, I'll
in the Atlantic.
fish.
That's about it. That's the only deep sea fishing I've done, and then freshwater.
Oh, you did bass fishing?
Like striped bass.
Oh, okay, striped bass.
Striped bass and bluefish in the Atlantic.
He's like,
okay. I
you
thought
went
you were
deep sea bass fishing.
I thought you were going to tell me you went.
Who did you hire?
What part of Alaska are you from?
I thought he was going to tell me he caught some deep sea brim or something.
That'd be fun.
They had the antennas on top.
Yeah, we've had him come in the shop before, and one guy in particular come in, and he was like, yeah, he's like, we caught like 30 permit today. And I'm like, this was last August. And I'm like, you caught 30 permit. And I said, can I see a picture of that? I'm like, that's really cool. We do this promotion where if you give me the picture, I'll give you $10 store credit. And you can use it, here in the shop. So he pulls the picture up, and it was about 30 hardtail or blue runner, little bait fish, right? And so that was his 30 permit he had caught in a day. So but I was like, no, I said, man, I'm trying to break it easy to him, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I said, I think those are hardtail. He's like, no, them are permit. I sent it to my buddy in Georgia. It's always Georgia too. I sent it to my buddy in Georgia, and them are permit right there. I said, no, bud, those are hardtail. So, but yeah, I do.
Did he get the store credit?
He still got the store
All
credit.
right.
That's sweet then.
And that goes right in line. Most of y'all in this room have dealt with me long enough to know that sometimes we can be a little sarcastic and have a little bit of fun. No, never. And we had this one guy in the shop, and he was insistent about getting a locals discount. We have this sign behind the cash register that says we do not negotiate. And I said we have a fair price policy, meaning anything over $25 we'll price match, but you get it just as it is. So if you want me to price match, an Amazon item, it's going to be handed to you in the box.
Yeah.
In 30 pieces, and then you get to go put it together.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So anyway, he was adamant. He's like, man, I need a locals discount. I said, perfect. I said, 20% upcharge. And, I said, we print it out, and on the receipt it reads PIA charge. And he didn't find it as humorous as y'all did. But anyway.
That would be crazy, though, go into a place and be like, let me get that locals discount. Okay, yeah, 20% extra, man.
Yeah. What, now here in a minute, I'll give the actual report, the 3 different areas we typically look at. I do have some comments on the fishing rodeo this weekend. I saw and heard you had a segment earlier on the rodeo. That's a great event that's going to take place. And, but what's the one pressing, fishing question that you would have for this area? What? Miles hasn't fished this area a whole lot. David fishes it some, but not a whole lot. Amanda, I don't think you've ever fished this area, right? Drew,
I fished it once.
Fishes a little bit.
My question
is there something in the knowledge base, in your mind, that prevents you from going? So here in a minute, we'll just do a quick, quick round. If you got it, let's go ahead and do it now.
I want to prevent hurting the turtles. They're the little turtles. And then I see all the cute little things on the piers about how to save the turtles when you get them all caught up in your net. And I'm like, that's terrible. I'm not doing that to them.
So
I feel you.
You don't fish because you want to save the turtles.
I fear hurting the turtle.
Okay.
Keep your lights off then.
Yes.
Well, I mean, I lived in Australia for a year, and you had to have the lights off when they were doing because the baby turtles would come into. So
they're attracted to those.
Yes, I don't want to hurt the little turtles. And in every pier I've been on in here, they're like, "Oh, here's I accidentally roped in a turtle net," and I'm like, "That's terrible. Oh my god."
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's understandable. David, what?
He's got.
Let me get something I can.
I don't want to rope a turtle.
My biggest thing would be water conditions and which color. Lure you should go with, and then on top of that would be chartreuse, right? But my thing that would that wouldn't prevent me from going, right? Because at the end of the day, if I don't have that correct answer, I'm just gonna go with live bait from Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle, right?
Always.
Go get some sand fleas.
Always.
My secondary thing that would prevent me from going would be areas that you can go where you can fish from land in the flats where it's not surf, because I don't have the equipment to go surf to go fish in the surf, right?
Yeah.
I don't have the big heavy poles and stuff. We got 1 or 2, but I don't think that I even would have the equipment tackle wise then to rig up the way that you would want to when it comes to surf fishing. But I'm more of a bass fisher, or a bass fisherman as well. So I like flat fishing, right? Because it's very comparable. Yeah. But I don't think that my knowledge is there to. It seems like anytime I'm going for a redfish, that's my target. I'm landing trout.
Okay. So what exactly is your question? Like where
Where to
should
go?
you go?
Where to go? That's the one,
Where
because
should
you
you go?
I'm with
well,
you,
you
but I
asked
wouldn't
the
even know how to rig
question
it
and
up.
then you asked like what would prevent you from going. So then I had
Yeah.
to change my question, and that's the thing that prevents me more than anything is finding somewhere on land to fish flats.
So, obviously, county parks are a good place to start,
Mm-hmm.
right? But particularly, one of our favorite areas to send land-based guys and gals that are fishing is up 79 up by the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
There is a big flat that goes and extends to the east of the bridge. And you can go through there. There's actually a little beach area you can kind of walk. You could walk a good half mile. And then obviously wade out. So something interesting to note about that too, and I didn't start fishing like this till about 10 years ago, but I would launch from a public area, whether it was a park or a public boat ramp, on a paddleboard or kayak, but I enjoy being actually in the water.
Right.
Right. And so I would find those flat areas, and I would, in some cases, I'd paddle an hour to hour and a half to kind of get to my spot, if you would, and then get off the paddleboard and essentially use it as a flotation device that had my live shrimp and my live well on it. And then I have a boat board, and it has a tackle rack.
Okay.
To where you can put multiple rods on the back of it. So, again, if you're walking, one of the best places to start is county or public parks. And then if you want to kind of expand your fishing abilities or fishing area from there, find a flotation, without obviously the obvious buying a boat.
Right.
You can buy a paddleboard or a kayak, and that will be able to get you out into the areas that you want to go.
Mm-hmm.
So as far as colors, go ahead.
I was going to say, I got a couple extra kayaks. We can go out next time.
Yeah,
Just give
no
me a
doubt.
shout.
I know there's a guy named AG, Adam Goff.
Yep.
I know he has a couple new flotation devices that he picked up from Babe Reeves Bait and Tackle.
Ooh.
Oh.
Did he get one of those carts though? Because that's got to be one of the
No,
more.
he didn't get no cart.
Oh man.
Didn't get no cart. They got a couple paddle boards though. So
Nice.
yeah. And that's a great segue into what I want to highlight on the fishing rodeo. They have a land-based division. So sometimes when we hear Panama City Beach Fishing Rodeo, by the way, I'm looking forward to Will Thompson Band next Sunday. If you've never heard them, you need to get out and go. And they're playing the closing ceremony. But they have a land-based division. And the land-based division includes king mackerel, Spanish mackerel, pompano, speckled trout, flounder, and redfish with the most spots. And so you can go to the tournament website, pcbfishingrodeo.com, and get all the weigh-in times when you can go. I mean, there's a whole host of information you need to get, but you'll be able to drive down to Captain Anderson's, give them your fish, tell them you're in the land-based or you're entering the land-based division, and you can weigh a fish. And so it's I know last year was their first year kind of starting the rodeo. This is year number 2. And there were some blank land-based division categories, which over a 2-week period here in Panama City Beach probably shouldn't happen. And I think it's important for the community to know, particularly the fishing community, know they can get out this weekend. If they want to know what color lures to use, go by Babe Reeves Bait and Tackle on the west end of Panama City Beach, and we can kind of give you the latest and greatest. We'll even tell you, I mean, I tell people exactly where I fish.
Mm-hmm.
And most of the time, if I give you my spot where I'm fishing, if you go there and try to fish it the next day or at a different time, those fish aren't going to be there.
Right.
And so, we try to make sure people get sent to the right place to be able to catch these fish. But again, if you want to get involved in the rodeo and you're like, man, I don't have a boat or I can't necessarily afford to be able to get on, a head boat or a charter boat, this is a great opportunity to be able to get in. Plus, you win prize money, and it's a good time. So don't let not having the ability to have a boat or a way to get out there hinder you. Go wading.
Yeah.
And find those county parks or city parks for that matter, and go look for those speckled trout or those redfish. So.
I love that, though. That's really great information because I'm sure a lot of people are hearing you over the radio, and they're like, well, I don't have a boat, you know what I mean? And so you just answered the question for them. I love that.
It came,
and myself.
It's come up in discussion in the shop over the past 2 weeks and talking about it. So naturally, if that many people coming into a fishing shop are like, how can I get involved into a fishing rodeo? I don't have a boat, and I don't want to charter a boat. Well, they have an entire land-based and a paddle division.
Wow.
So, you can walk on your feet, or you can paddle or pedal a kayak.
Or get you a life jacket and get out there and just float and fish.
Float along. I mean, get you one of those big, gigantic flamingos.
Yeah, there you go, or a unicorn or something.
There will be somebody out there in Lake Powell this weekend that's like, I heard this advice from Tim at Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle. And I'm out here,
Can I get a flamingo that says Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle?
No. Please do not.
No.
I've had previous employees that would have had an idea like that, and that's why they're previous.
I kind of like where their head's at. Get an oar.
Amanda's like, I would have kept them on for a long time.
Like a great idea.
They were creative geniuses.
We probably need some help in the PR department and a gigantic flamingo out in the middle of Lake Powell.
Listen, when I start my flamingo boat rental,
get you a flag that just blows in the wind.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. So
Tim's like, I'm heading to FedEx, man. Y'all shut up.
I'm a little detoured, kind of like my day right now. And we were gonna bring up, places to fish, so it's right in line. And I had another situation this past week where I had a beachfront property owner tell me that I couldn't fish on his private beach.
Ooh.
And so that's actually, as fishermen, you have the right to be able to fish on the beach as long as you access the beach in a public manner, which, Panama City Beach and South Walton both do a great job at providing public accesses to those beach. And as long as you're not directly in their backyard, we're not going to get into the whole customary use and HB 631 and.
Is that dealing with like the dry sand versus the wet sand and all that stuff? Dude, that is the whack. Let me shut up.
I personally have sat with Senator George Gaynor over in Tallahassee, great man here from Panama City. Was nice enough to take some time to actually talk about that specific issue as it relates to South Walton, and obviously we see that same issue arising in the fishing side as well. And this guy that approached me this morning actually looked at me after about 2 minutes and said, "You're the owner of Bay Breeze?" And I said, "Yes." I said, "I am." And there was nobody set up, 50 feet to my left or to my right. I was, out there kind of all by myself. But he wanted to make sure that he knew I needed to move. And then, after I politely told him, I said, if I'm trespassing, you have to call the authorities, the sheriff's department in Walton County. And I said, they have to remove me. And he knew then that, this is not going to happen.
So they're working out in my favor.
Yeah, I just think it's important to note. I mean, that was one of the things we're going to talk about today and highlight is you absolutely have the right to, go to the beach and fish on any area where the beach is accessible, right? You can't necessarily trespass to get to the beach, but you wouldn't want somebody walking through your backyard either to get to the beach. But if there's public access and you're able to get down to it, you can go down there and fish. And in this particular case, I just looked at the gentleman and, I could tell he was starting to get a little bit testy. And I've got that fire on the inside of me that's starting to, well up.
If you want to go there, we could go there.
And I said, man, you know what? I'm just out here to have a good day today. And I said, I'm going to sit right here and fish. If you want to come down here and I was smoking a cigar at the time. I said, if you want to come down here and smoke a cigar and we'll chat, I said, I'll be here for about the next hour and a half. And he turned and walked off and didn't say anything else. So we had a good day after that.
That is awesome.
And but just know, that you can fish there on the beach.
Mm-hmm.
And I know we gotta wrap some things up because we've ran a little bit over today. But make sure if you've ever wanted to get out this weekend, it's going to be a beautiful weekend to do that. And it is going to be a little bit breezy, but the weather is going to be fantastic. And again, you catch a big enough pompano, redfish, or trout for that matter, and you're on land. You can enter that into the fishing rodeo.
Not if you're in a flamingo, but if you're on land.
Yeah.
I'm going to try it.
Yeah, I don't know. There's not a flamingo category.
Right.
I looked it up earlier. I think there's 69 total categories.
Yeah.
Right, that you can weigh fish in. And one of those main divisions is not flamingo. Drew's got an idea over here. I see
I'm
this.
getting the mental picture of Amanda just being pulled in the flamingo like, come on.
The flamingo head goes down underneath the wave. Next thing you know, Amanda's just in the water.
Out of curiosity, where can I find these categories so I know, okay, I can enter for this?
Yep, it's in PCBFishingRodeo.com.
Okay.
PCB is in Panama City Beach, FishingRodeo.com.
I'm going to find a category to enter. I'm going to try this out.
It's land-based or kayak and
Okay,
paddleboard
not
division.
flamingo-based. I get it.
I'll read the heads off to you real quick. You have federal charter boats, recreational boats, 26 feet and larger, state charter boats, recreational boats under 26, land-based division, kayak and paddleboard division, head boat, party boat, extended voyage division, which is 24 to 48 hours.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, you can go take your pink flamingo off.
Overnight.
Yep, and here's the four fish for that. Amberjack, all grouper, all tuna, and wahoo.
I'm not catching a tuna on a
you
flamingo.
take your pink flamingo out and catch a wahoo off of it. Everybody will be impressed.
Yes.
I mean, there'll be an article made about that.
Oh, no doubt.
No doubt. So
person on a flamingo seen in Destin. Like
that will be the first time we will ever have a Florida woman.
Yeah, Florida woman
guaranteed.
instead of Florida man.
Guaranteed.
Instead of Florida man.
100%.
You're going to have your own category named after you, Amanda, after this one.
Total.
Hey, Tim, real quick, hit us with a summary of all that we've talked about today so we can pull that for tomorrow morning.
Absolutely. As we look into the weekend, our forecast should be dandy. It should be great. Seas will have a moderate chop. Wahoo and king mackerel will be good targets for this weekend for those wanting to spend some time trolling offshore. The redfish fall inshore bite has improved drastically over the past 2 weeks. From the surf, we anticipate good catch numbers of pompano. It's also fishing rodeo season in the Florida Panhandle. So be sure to check out the PCB Fishing Rodeo this weekend. The rodeo officially starts Friday, September 23rd, with a kickoff party scheduled to begin at noon on Saturday. All the weighing and festivities will be at the Captain Anderson's Marina.
All right, good stuff, Tim. As always, man, such a pleasure to have you in. A great fun segment today as well, kind of, just conversating about some of the stuff that's going on. Cannot wait till next week so we can talk a little bit more about the flamingos, unicorns, and other flotation devices.
I have a feeling, just, knowing Amanda for 4 weeks now, it's going to happen. There will be a flamingo out in some body of water around here. Now, whether fish is caught, we don't know, but
I'm going to try.
Yeah, we'll call it the USS Babe Reed.
Also, Babe Reed is allowed on there
right
now.
Now they're allowed.
They made it.
If she promises to catch a wahoo.
I mean,
love it, man.
I will take your bait advice on that one, but yeah, I'll try.
A little bit more fantasy football coming up next. So, reminder, you guys can hear this, the summary of this segment again at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. Derek Tate, a fantasy staff writer, NFL writer for The Athletic, coming up next, and we'll finish out the show with that. Thank you guys for listening. We'll be right back.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida is the Panhandle's destination for the Atlanta Braves.
Got him swinging strike three.
Ozzie Albies, Austin Riley, Ronald Acuna Jr. and the Braves are back.
Unbelievable.
And hungry for more. Listen to the world champion Atlanta Braves on a world champion radio station.
Rosario knocked the living daylights out of it.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
That boot store reminds you, football weather means colder weather can't be far off. Now's a great time to shop for those winter work coats, shirts, and shoes. Janice and Irene, along with the staff, welcome you to stop by and shop for the whole family at that boot store. Remember Joe's motto, always put Jesus first in your life. Open 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Tuesday through Thursday, 9 a.m. to 5:30 on Friday and Saturday. That boot store. Next to Bill Bird Kia on 15th Street, Panama City.
Hi, I'm Bobby Likas with today's Car Clinic Minute. Making it to work on time may be hard, but the journey itself doesn't have to be. When I come back, I'll provide some commuting comforts that'll make your 5 o'clock horses easier to ride.
The Car Clinic Minute.
It's Bobby Likas Car Clinic, brought to you locally by Hewitt Tire and Auto.
Call 850-769-7323.
Your certified AAA service center and hometown towing.
Visit them online at HewittTire.com.
On Airport Road in Panama City.
That's 850-769-7323. Hewitt Tire and Auto Center and hometown towing.
So what creature comforts do commuters crave in their automotive beast of burden? Per Edmunds.com, comfortable seats and well-designed cup holders make the ride in the saddle physically cozy, while in-dash CD players and wheel-mounted radio controls allow ample entertainment with minimal hassle. In-console PowerPoints and hands-free voice-activated phone systems make it easy for office-bound pilgrims to do a little business before they arrive. And since feeding the horses under your hood can take the gold right out of your saddlebags, good gas mileage can really make a difference between an old gray mare and a red-hot pony. I'm Bobby Likas. Like us, you'll love us.
Live from the Rib Crib Studio. Doing what other stations can't. The Afternoon Underdogs is live and local. 850-215-6290.
Always be sure to listen for the dial tone.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back in to the Rip Crib Radio Room. You guys are riding with the Afternoon Underdogs here on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Running out of time, so let's get straight to Derek Tate. He's an NFL fantasy staff writer for The Athletic. My man, Derek, what's going on? Have you had a great week?
I've had a fantastic week. I heard you all talking about fish and one fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish. The only thing I'm catching right now is catching feelings for Tua Tagovailoa after throwing 6 touchdown passes over the last weekend. Thanks for having me on.
Hey, no doubt, man. So while we're on that conversation of quarterback here, which quarterback out of Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, has the edge this week in the Green Bay Packers, Tampa Bay Buccaneers game, and who comes out victorious?
I'm still going to roll with Tom Brady, even though Mike Evans is on the shelf, and then Julio Jones doesn't look very good, and Russell Gage is dealing with a hamstring injury, and so is Chris Godwin. I still think that at home, Tom Brady is going to find a way to go ahead and put up some points against the Green Bay Packers. I really think the Tampa Bay defense, which has been off to a fantastic start, is going to make life pretty difficult for Aaron Rodgers and company. They're going to put a lot of man coverage against these receivers. We're going to see what they can do when they're not playing against the struggling Chicago Bears on, Sunday Night Football? Yeah, we'll see what they got. But I think the Bucs are going to handle their business, and Tom Brady has himself a pretty nice day.
Hey, Derek. So I got Mike Evans on my team, on both my fantasy teams, actually. He's out this week. I'm wondering if I should start MVS on the Chiefs, Elijah Moore on the Jets, or Chase Claypool. I know those are all not top picks, but those are the only choices I have.
Yeah, I'm rolling with Elijah Moore. I personally think even though Joe Flacco, he did have a pretty good game and a pretty good fantasy day, and he's getting the ball out of his hands and letting his playmakers make plays. So I believe Elijah Moore is actually the play of your options to replace Mike Evans this week.
Drew here, Derek. I had a quarterback question, and with the way that this year has played out, how much more of a leash do I need to give to Russell Wilson before I pull the plug on him?
Well, it depends on what your other options are, but I'm certainly, until further notice, I'm definitely considering Russell Wilson more like a top 15, top 20 play. The offense just hasn't quite clicked quite yet. I expected a much bigger game from him against the Houston Texans. So, yeah, if you have other options, what are your other options? Just out of curiosity, real quick.
Off the top of my head, it's a super flex team. It's a super flex league. That's the word I'm looking for. And I've got Mariota, Trubisky, Flacco's available as well. And then on my bench, well, actually starting in my super flex position, I have Winston.
Yeah, I mean, I'm personally going to roll with probably Winston and Marcus Mariota. Mariota does give you a little bit of a rushing, upside that I haven't really seen enough from Russell Wilson to feel comfortable with. But, I mean, I expect the Atlanta Falcons actually, this week they're playing up in Seattle. I'd probably roll with Russell Wilson one more week.
He's like, you can just start Trey Lance at that point.
I don't like the other options yet. They're in Seattle this week. If they were in Atlanta, I'd say roll with Mariota. But no, they're in Seattle. I'm not messing with the 12th man.
Yeah, agreed. Hey, Derek, I've got a fun quarterback question, too. Which quarterback do you foresee starting first? Is it going to be Pickett or Willis?
Oh, Kenny Pickett. I understand the Tennessee Titans look rough right now, and things are not getting any better. My goodness, Taylor Lewan looking like he's going to be out for a very long time, if not the entire season, after being carted off against the Bills. So yeah, even though I expect that the Titans are in for a pretty rough season so far, I don't see them going to Malik Willis, because if you watched how he looked against the Bills, he still isn't going through his progressions. He's relying too much on his athleticism after his first read isn't there. I just see his eyes drop too quickly, and I don't think in the AFC South, which is really weak and off to a rough start, they're still going to be in the thick of it, even if they're below 500 through the first month or two of the season.
Let's double down on that. Which 0-2 team has the best shot at the playoffs in your eyes, Derek? We're talking with Derek Tate. He's a NFL staff writer for The Athletic. So you've got the Falcons, the Titans, the Raiders, the Bengals, and the Panthers. Which 0-2 team has the best shot at the playoffs, Derek?
Give me the Las Vegas Raiders. And to steal it from Boom, I'm going to go, hey! Like the Las Vegas Raiders for sure. Look, they've had two pretty tough losses. They just got Kyler Murray'd. It was really tough to watch them come unraveled. They had that game in the bag. But unfortunately, you turn the ball over and you let a team hang around like the Arizona Cardinals, and you got Kyler Murray who can just make special plays happen. You end up coming away with some losses that you probably are going to regret later in the season. But of all the 0-2 teams, I still think that the Raiders have enough power on the offensive side of the football and a defense that I still think has some talent as well. I think that they have the best chance of righting the ship, even in a tough stack AFC.
Hey, Derek, we're going to take a quick break, come up, wrap the show up with you, talking some Thursday Night Football. Thanks for holding on for us. We're going to be right back. You guys are listening to the Afternoon Underdogs on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida. It's the Dan Patrick Show.
By the way, in case you're wondering, and I did have a lot of people saying, hey, are you watching the game? Because I have DirecTV. I took out my phone, and I had Amazon Prime on my phone. Yes, Bill.
By halftime, I'd ordered a new bathrobe and a pair of slippers and a crock pot.
That's not true. You did not.
The Dan Patrick Show. Weekday mornings 9 to 11 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hey there, folks. Welcome back to another college football season. And welcome back to another season of Fansville by Dr. Pepper. That little slice of heaven. Every man, woman, and student section drinks Dr. Pepper like their life depends on it. It does. Where the air is filled with the scent of charcoal grills, and the streets are marked with yard lines. Practical. Where the current trending baby names are Blitz, Spike, and 2-point conversion. Adorable. And recruitment starts before you're born. It's a linebacker. Where NFT stands for Not Fun Tailgate, and DIY stands for Dr. Pepper is Yummy. It is. It's the place off-season fever dreams are made of, where the right to life, liberty, and barbecue is written in the town's constitution. Saucy. And the current forecast is sunny, with a 90% chance of the skies opening up and raining down delicious droplets of Dr. Pepper. Grab a bucket. Get ready for anything to happen this college football season on Fansville by Dr. Pepper. The one fans deserve. Grab some today.
It's time to let the fall adventures begin in a new Kia from Bill Bird Kia. Now offering 3.49% up to 48 months on the purchase of a new 2022 Kia Sorento. You can expand your horizons and write your next chapter with confidence in the outgoing and adventurous 2022 Kia Sorento that has the perfect balance of comfort, safety, performance, and technology. Bill Bird Kia is the home of the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by and see us at 2435 East 15th Street or anytime at BillBirdKia.com. We make buying a car easy and will give you the peace of mind you can trust.
Offer from KMF for the purchase of a new 2022 Sorento with $22.36 per month per $1,000 financed in 48 months. Quantities limited. No down payment required. Can be combined with other finance offers. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Bill Bird Kia warranty. See dealer for complete details. Offer for well-qualified buyers. Must take delivery from dealer stock through 10/31/22.
Number of rings since 1987. Dallas Cowboys 0. J-Lo 5. Just saying. Now back to the Rib Crib Radio Room with the Afternoon Underdogs on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Last segment of the day here on the Afternoon Underdogs. I can't hear myself very well, man. I'm going deaf. All right, we got Derek Tate on the line with us. He's a staff writer, NFL-wise, for The Athletic. Got a great article going on the survivor pools as well. Make sure you go check that out. Subscribe to The Athletic. It's an absolute must. My question for you, Derek, I try not to play guys on Thursday night games if possible. Is Nick Chubb, though, tonight, especially with me having James Conner as well, is he a must-play tonight?
Nick Chubb is a must-start until further notice, my friend. Nick Chubb's arguably the best. We were talking about Derrick Henry earlier on the previous segment, right? And I'm worried about Derrick Henry, averaging, I think, 3 yards per carry through the first 2 games, just so un-Henry-like. Yeah, that's definitely not the case for Nick Chubb. He's absolutely tearing it up, averaging over 5.8 yards per clip. He's gotten at least 17 carries in each of the first 2 games. This team is going to be built through the running game, in particular while Jacoby Brissett is under center. Yeah, Nick Chubb's a must-start.
What about Kareem Hunt?
Kareem Hunt is more, I kind of figure he's more of a flex option, and it's kind of roster dependent, right? If you don't have other great options or you're dealing with injuries, Kareem Hunt's still worth a spot start, sure. I just don't think the floor is going to be there. I think he's going to see somewhere between 10 to 12 touches, a little bit more touchdown dependent. I just also don't have quite as much faith in his pass catching floor as I did when it was Baker Mayfield under center. So, he only had 2 targets and 2 receptions last week. So you're kind of banking on a touchdown from Kareem Hunt. He's a great player, but he's just not getting enough opportunities for me to consider him a top 24 play on a weekly basis.
Who do you have with more passing yards tonight? What do you got, Drew?
I was just going to ask, the over-under is set at 38. Which way do you see this one going?
Oh, man, life's too short to bet the under. Go over. Come on. I want to see the points scored. Let's go.
All right, and if they're going to score some points, we probably will see a little bit from their quarterbacks tonight out of Mitch Trubisky and Jacoby Brissett. Who's got more passing yards out of those 2 fellas?
I'm going to go ahead and go with Jacoby Brissett. There's something about Mitchell Trubisky. It seems like he's playing very, very tight, right? He just almost is playing not to make any mistakes. And with the options that they have, and all 3 of those wide receivers are guys in the right situation that I think could be top 20 fantasy wide receiver producers, right? Pickens, you got Deontay Johnson and Chase Claypool. But Trubisky is just kind of playing not to lose, man. And you know what happens when you do that? You lose your job. And that's why I think that Kenny Pickett, we're going to see him sooner than later. I'm going Jacoby Brissett, too, because I think the offensive line for the Steelers is going to have problems trying to rein in Myles Garrett.
I was going to kind of piggyback on a little bit of that. So I agree that I think Trubisky is playing not to lose, and he's playing like he does have the job to lose. Do you think we see Pickett without there being a Trubisky injury?
Ooh, tonight? Yeah, I think that there's a chance. If I'm a betting man, which I'm not supposed to be, but I got to pay for my daughter's college fund somehow, right? But
just ask Brett Favre.
I would say if the Pittsburgh Steelers do not have 10 points by the first or second drive of the third quarter, that maybe Tomlin goes to the bench to try to get a spark for his team with the rookie Kenny Pickett.
Hey, Derek, we do got to go. We're out of time for today. Thanks so much for giving us some of your time. We'll catch up with you next week, my man.
Absolutely. Enjoy Thursday night football. See you guys.
See you, man. Hey, y'all go subscribe to The Athletic, if for nothing else, just to check out my man Derek Tate's articles. He does a fantastic job. Now, my question to you guys. We're in rapid fire time. I've only got a minute left here. Who wins the game? And then the over-under. Give me that. Drew started off.
Steelers, and they will win 27-24.
I like that.
Ooh, okay. I'm also taking the Steelers. I'm taking the over. I haven't got a score in my head yet, but yeah, it's going over.
We'll come back
Steelers.
to you.
Yep.
Okay, over. All right. What do you got, Miles?
Browns in the over. The Browns defense is too good.
Ooh, I like that, man. So that'll leave you kind of on an island. I'm going with the Steelers as well, and I'm going to go with a score of 31-20. No way they're scoring that much. Give me 24-20. 24-20, and I'll take the Steelers. We are out for today. The Coach James Hale Show, live at 7 a.m. Big announcement coming at 8:45. This is ESPN Northwest Florida, 104.3 in Panama City, 102.1 in Mariana, and 101.9 in Port St. Joe.
I love to laugh. I don't care.
It's here. The 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida app version 2.0. Now featuring ultra high fidelity.